What's up guys, it is Ollie here and I'm bringing you a video which I am commentating over of Andrew Bortz, Bortzy boy, having a 75 or 100% race on the Melbourne circuit in his race department, or no, 100%, and he's in his McLaren and he's starting 8th on the options. Very high wind settings. Unusual suspension settings there, and very strange there. So looks like he's going for like a 2 or a 3 stopper with them kind of like short shifts up and short shifts down. And there's the field. Andrew qualifies above chicane 4863, and just behind Italian Red, who looks to be Andrew's what would you say, leaderboard contender. So it looks like he's going for a 2-stop strategy, starting on the options and having another set of options, then a set of primes for this 58 lap race. Unlike the real life when everyone and their ma dived into pits. So, rain in qualifying. Andrew Bortz just 5/10 off his main rival Italian Red, and just going through all the track info. All of you, which everyone would like to know, about to gear up. 0% chance of rain, so it's going to be a dry race. Andrew going through his strategy again. Maybe thinking whether he should change it or not. Probably. I don't know. Right. He's just waiting. Oh, and he's back on. He's got 100% condition on the options, and 4 out of the 6 of the primes, so he must have qualified on the primes, I'm guessing, or possibly on the options. Race starts in 20 seconds. So he qualified 8 out of 15 cars, so he's right in the middle of the pack, and it should be an exciting first corner, but it depends how everyone else starts off. So yeah, in the McLaren, just waiting for the mechanic, not Rob anymore, or whatever his name was, who used to just give out useless information. So getting ready to start, just looking at that foam extinguisher. And here we go, start of the race. So Andrew Bortz on 8th, and HRT on 1st was Zomaker, Italian Red in 7th, and Andrew Bortz in 8th, the Bortzy boy. Looks behind him, Italian Red 7th, chicane 4863 in 9th. 8th is where he starts, so pit stop on lap 17, that's a good start. He's moving across, he gets taken by chicane, something happened, and what's happening in first try, and he loses a place to chicane, so does Italian Red, and just manages to catch it as he comes out of the first try. Going to turn 2, Mayhem, just in front of Mutant Driver. Looks on the inside of Italian Red, but backs off because he'll probably get slammed to the wall. Breaking hard down into that corner, which is one of my favourite corners on the track. Struggling to keep this car on the road in the first 3 corners with these tyres on this game. Probably going to use up the majority of his trails on here. And yeah, so it's better than my first laps on any race, but and someone spun. Looked as though it it was Italian retro season from, it was Lindbaum or 98. So pretty young compared to most of these drivers. Oh, and he looks on the inside and pushes Bortz wide, letting Julius and Mutant Doctor. So Bortz is down into 11th. Not having a very good race. So he's got standard mitts on his fuel, wanting to preserve all of his fuel for the latter parts of the race. Lap 2 now. 2.2 seconds behind, 0.2 of seconds behind Jules. Bortz seems to get a lot of time back when he breaks into that corner. Maybe the guy in front doesn't quite know the right place to brake. 7.5 seconds now off his first lap. 5/10 behind Jules and 3 or 4 tenths in front of Cycross. And inside first lap, using most of his curves, or some of his curves. Getting that dreaded white line behind him. Bit sketchy through there, just trying to ease it through. Don't want to. Oh, and Tom Cross makes a diving move, but Bortz cuts straight back in front of him. And if that was real life, he'd probably get like a 20 place grid penalty due to the FIA's rules. So using most of his curves up, run straight, going absolutely like Speedy Gonzalez. Lap 3, oh, takes that wide, almost catches his back end, causing him to send him into a 4-wheel spin. So everyone's bunched up in front of him. The leader seems to be absolutely flying away. He's already in sector 2. He's about 3 seconds in front of everyone else. So again, in that corner, he seems to be catching everyone. So a very intense race in these first few minutes. So Bortz looking at right on the back end of Jules. I think that's a Netherlands 5, and right and behind him now is him. But I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. Bortz is probably going to get right on his back wind if he uses some of his curves now. No. Oh, it'll probably take him on the start finish straight when DRS is activated, as it is lap 3. Oh no. Bortz dives on the inside, gets pushed out onto the grass. And someone sticks into the wall. That was a bit crazy. Bortz not even using half his curves up, but takes 2 places in the same amount of corners and just catches the back end there again. Uses his curves to try and get a tiny gap from Jules there. Still, fuel mix isn't standard. Bit of a alteration there going into that corner. I don't think he quite hiked his line into that corner and right behind now, caught to him is Jules. Bortz using a lot of his curves and taking the inside line to protect his 9th place. Taking that corner a bit, probably gonna get caught now by Jules, who's just 0.2 tenths of behind him. Yep, he's caught out. But Bortz is just trying to defend the last 2 corners unless someone just dives down everywhere inside him. So that's the end of lap 4. Let's see if he can catch up to Mutant Doctor anyway. Switch up to Rich Mitts and just gets overtouched by Jules easily. options are looking very nice. Not too much wear yet. Bats off. They didn't want to take the risk of diving down the inside, then probably getting spun or getting hit straight into that gravel track behind him. But he's back down in 10th now, lost 2 places off his starting position, 1.1 seconds in front of Tommy Cross and 0.6 of a second behind Jules Hurst, still on lap 5. This is surprising why he doesn't use his chairs to the full extent, as he takes that first run off that kind of like fast chicane, just cuts it a little bit, being a bit cheeky, catches a bit of grass there on his left front tyre. On F1 2010 he would have had about 1,000 like spots of sand or something on it, and he would have just spun out. But catching back up to Jules, it seems, using the rest of his curves. Still not getting faster laps, which is strange for Andrew Bortz. And he compromises his apex there, and it's just straight away just caught by Tommy Cross, who's probably going to dive down the inside. No, great driving there from both of them, being respectful to each other and not to smash into one another. Looks like the leader is still streaming away, going faster in that first sector, but still being caught by 11th place. Does look like there's 2 back markers quite far behind Bortz, as the leader appears to be going onto the barely see. This seems to be going for the last corner, I think. I'm not sure. As Bortz is on lap 6 now. Very clean driving. Bortz's driving style kind of reminds me of Felipe Massa. Doesn't take too many chances and likes to be consistent and doesn't like to it's not Jensen Button where he looks at his tyres, because he's not as shown in this Silverstone race where he got like 3 or 4 punches in the on the same lap, and that's what has happened to Bortz in his career mode. But so you definitely should watch that. It's a fantastic series which is going on. So is this. Well, as he almost loses the back end, catches it nicely, as he will do 9 times out of 10, as the leader goes onto the back straight, you call it the back bend. Bortz is now losing ground to Jules and trying to get out away from the grasp of Tommy Cross, using his curves to take the inside line, gets a bit on the grass, defends into this corner. Oh, very bad line there, and gets taken as Tommy Cross must use most of his DRS, and now he's completely getting sandwiched by Tommy Cross and Lindbaum, if that's how you say it. Apologies for any mispronunciations which I say throughout this video. Bortz catching up is probably going to make the overtake on the inside. Tommy Cross taking the defensive line, but Bortz just sails past him. Oh, and Bortz goes off. Oh man, this is exciting. And he'll probably be caught up by Lindbaum now. Born in 1998, probably 12 or 13 years old. Very promising driver from what I've seen so far in this race. Bortz straight away loses ground to the person in front of him. Looks so slow, he's starting to get a truly train behind him. It's kind of hard to tell. The Tommy has already created a 1 second gap to Bortzy boy. Halfway through his first stint on the first set of auction tyres. Takes a nice line through there. But again, use up some of his curves to try and close the gap to Tommy, as he did take the grass option, or so does Bortz. Had to brake half through, yep. You see that going halfway through the corner as he like braked halfway through the corner, just to like, because it must have felt something within the car or on his wheel, something like just like twitch or something. But if he has force feedback on his wheel, the Bortz sitting comfortably in ninth at the moment. His fuel looks alright. Getting caught up in that corner. Oh, catches it nicely again. I think it was like a snap oversteer or something, or I don't know, because in corners it just seems to like be like accelerating. It's either impatient and just accelerates too soon, or it just keeps getting snap oversteer. So it has to keep like the car keeps twitching on the low speed corners like that. Oh, and a massive spin by Bortz. Oh, his race is going on the shitter. Getting passed by everyone. DR Legend Live passes him without it didn't even have to. It could have just gone straight past him in reverse instead of past him, and Bortz has slowed down. Very strange. Very good race so far. I don't know what is going on in this race, but Bortz is not on the top of his game as he usually always is in the majority of his races, and right on his backside is AP, which I shall call him from now on. And so's 15th place. So it's very much a backmarcher's battle now, even though he's in McLaren. All cars online are the same, like performance wise, like standard, until you start tweaking stuff like wing and wing stiffness and stuff, and you just choose the car livery. Well, you either choose it or it is random. And Bortz desperately trying to catch up to DR Legend Live. Lap 10 now. Takes that wide again. Uses some of his curves to get claw back sometime. There's 2.6 seconds now behind DR Legend Live, and kind of creating a small gap to AP. 6 laps off his pit stop now. Sets new fastest lap, personal best lap for himself. 1.8 seconds now, so he's slowly getting away from the back markers. Takes that apex nicely. This is a lovely set of corners on this track. There's a brilliant set to 1, still not his best. Let's see how it is. It's set to 2. I just completely blanked out his engineer. Takes that a bit dodgy. He like brakes too hard and then he must have locked up his tyres and put his throttle down too early, as it looks like it, he would have spun out. But using 200 or so of his curves on that, and catching up to DR Legend Live, because once it is within like 1 second on the DRS out of the vision zone, you can either read DRS, which stands for drag reduction system, which basically means his rear wing opens up, so there is effectively no rear wing there. His tyres are getting pretty worn. It's going to start losing grip soon. And you all know when Bortz boy loses grip, he just starts pirouetting like he's in the Winter Olympics. Catching up to Dr. Legend or DR Legend Live, however you want to pronounce it. Yep, caught 1 second in that first sector. Maybe he has a lot worse worn tyres as he may have qualified on the options. But looked as though it qualified on the primes, as he only had 4 sets out of the 6 of them. He had all 5 sets of the options, I think. That's how many sets. Very strange setup from Bortz. I think it was like a 1 and 9 like stiffness, and 12 and 12 like wind setting, or 11 and 12, which is understandable on his side track, but I probably have it on as like a 7 and a 9, not like a 11 and 12. As in like some speed, like, well, that is from my personal experience in my Lotus career mode, which I will restart from my channel. If on the front right looks as it's not getting as much where if the front left or the back tyres as maybe Bortz's camber seconds are based on the front left tyre. Yeah, back left and front left look the worst. Front right looks in the best condition, and front and back right looks alright. And Bortz is pretty much onto DR Legend Live now. It's like Bortz desperately trying to catch up with DR Legend Live. Tends to make mistakes as he's having all that adrenaline pumping through his body while he's racing. Always, yeah, definitely. There's something with his setup which, like, if he gets in the throttle just a tad early, he'll just tend to just lose it really easily. You just have to, like, lose a couple of tenths just to get it back. But right on the back of DR Legend Live now. It looks like he's from Surrey or something. Bortz is from Wales. Into what he does in his spare time. I know. And Bortz desperately trying to catch up with him. Just makes it that error. It tends to make errors like every lap. Just small ones which would inevitably cost him more points on his leaderboard standings if Bortz stands any chance of getting like a top 3 at the end of the season, if that's even possible. I haven't checked the standings lately. Bortz dropping to 1.2 seconds behind him. My NDP is not behind him. As he's up to 9th, I didn't realise that. There must have been a massive pit stop race, and my MDP is now unfortunately held up behind her. Not on his top. Like, Bortz is a great driver, but it looks as though on this race he's just not got the supreme pace which he normally has. But she like consistency. He's always making like little errors. As he is probably in a DRS activation zone right now to DR Legend Live. As he made the error on the last corner, and Mike is going to pass him pretty easily. But Bortz is going to come straight back at him. Oh, no. Just hasn't got that speed on the straight which Mike has. as he takes DR Legend Live in the corner out, and Bortz a smack bang on DR Legend Live now. That's just some back marker or error prone driver. Oh, and Bortz, oh man, this is intense. He was going DR Legend Live, loses it, and Bortz sees a chance, and he just, it's just them errors which would cost him like the race. Well, not that it's gonna win by his driver like this, but it'll cost him valuable points. Now drops again to 1.3 seconds. It got him past him now, and right on the back right of Mike. He's not, as he takes that corner, misses the apex slightly, and that corner as well, misses the apex again. Maybe he's a bit drunk. That is my guesses for this. So on to lap 16, his pit stop lap. He'll probably stretch out a couple more laps. If I were him now, I'd stretch out until it was really red. I'm guessing AP is on the prime tyre, or he's just going for a long first stint like Bortz is. His front right is still holding up pretty nicely. His back right is now showing some wear. Sets a personal best in that first sector. It's still 1.3 seconds behind DR Legend Live. These races are absolutely fantastic to watch. Just everyone just putting in stunning laps. And if this is the word, bamboozling myself. Just takes that corner a bit wide again. It's definitely setting faster and faster laps now. 1.4 seconds off his personal best in the race. It takes that apex very nicely. See, it takes that apex lovely. Brakes perfectly, pretty much. And now pits. I would have stayed out a couple more laps. That's me, and that's why Bortz is faster than me. It's going for the primes now, so it's going to go for option prime option. A pretty crap pit stop there for some reason. It's just the lollipop man, as he is probably not called anymore as the electronic devices now, which is a huge letdown, as I miss just Ferrari having that and just messing up the entire season. Now Bortz is back in 14th place, just ahead of Hugo Prosser, who is 18 seconds behind him, and but with the race which Bortz is having, is going to catch him. It's lap 17 or 58. He's now 10 seconds behind his next third. It looks as though Bortz has been caught up by Hugo Preto by a massive 6 seconds. But Bortz still is trying to close down that gap to Lindblom, but it's still 10 seconds, so he's got a minimum 10-second gap either way. Bortz is having a very slow lap on his first, which is understandable on a very cold set of prime tyres, which is kind of strange, as you'd expect the garage mechanics to heat them up, which would, so they would be like kind of not like frozen like ice cream truck is called, which is, well, I don't know what that means, but just maybe 2 seconds off Hugo Pratt over there, 6 seconds off his pace, sponsored by LG. 13.7 seconds in front of Hugo now. lap 18. 9 seconds behind Lynn Palmer, so they're only in 7 tenths in that sector. There's no time to go, as Mike RD sets the fastest lap of a 1:24.4. Got away 2 tenths to Hugo right over there. On a slightly warm, not warm, prime tyres, which is strange as he changed up his start strategy, which may be something to do with how he actually wanted it to do, or he just felt it was the right time to have a long stint on prime tyres and go back to the options for the end of the race for a dramatic finish. It was lap 19 now. 8 seconds behind DR Legend Live now, so he's dropped back as well. But so I'm assuming there are back markers further up the field still on their prime tyres. So they'll either be holding DR Legend back or he'd just be having a absolute shitter. Lifts off that corner, had a bad first part of that corner, or corners if I'm not sure if it's like 2 turns. 14.6 seconds ahead of Hugo now. Sounds like he's not shifting up straight, like when that blue line hits the end of its thing. It looks like he's over revving a bit, which may be hurting his engine. Maybe 15.6, pulling a huge gap to Hugo at the moment. Lap 20. Only 4 seconds now between him and the 13th spot. Gone past the place where Pastor Maldonado, Mr. Rapist face, took himself out on the last corner, where he would have got a brilliant points finish for Williams, even though they probably would have forgotten all about that now, as they're probably focusing on China, which is on Sky Sports Live next week at a ridiculous time, like 2 o'clock in the morning. Sky Sports F1 HD, which is an awesome channel. It's just half the time it just shows you Martin Bundle racing around in Ferrari, or just him talking to Paul di Resta while he's racing around the track in his fast India, which is India. Oh, and he takes someone on the straight sets. Oh, I'm not sure who that was, but no, it was probably, yeah, it was Dr. Legend Live. Oh, all that Tommy Cross, yeah. And there's an instant nick ahead. No, lost the connection to Tommy Cross, so he must have logged out because he was having a pretty good race before the pit stop with Bortz boy. Continuing to race 10 seconds already. Dr. Legend Live. So he must have pitted or something must have happened. Fuel says +2 laps, so he's good for fuel. 9 seconds behind Jude Payne. That 32 is his next pit stop, probably stretched out to a 34, 35. If he pits now, he will rejoin last as Tom, I think it was, retired. Well, last in the current race. Which, if you see that, as Hugo has overtook whoever that was. He was in 30th beforehand. 9.7 seconds to get to chicane. 8th is A and AP. So I'm guessing he's on primes and he's just also so the leader's got a huge gap. He's going for that fast chicane, if you could call that, onto the first going into sector 3 as Bortz goes through sector 1 or straight into sector 2. 9 point devil, well 9.666 and seconds in front of chicane and XA Draco XA has joined this GP with his custom on the PC. Oh, there's a bit of a technical error there, sorry for that. Well, poor driving from Andrea. Just, I don't know, maybe a line spike or something, but it seems that if he takes that chicane badly, he will mess up the next couple of corners, but only messed up that first corner. Just about 9/10 off his personal best in this race, 10 seconds behind chicane now. Italian Red is now 8th, so AP is probably 9th or 10th. So you'll probably see chicane overtake him. He goes 18.2 seconds now ahead. Behind, sorry, he's not ahead. How you get that with the Bortz he's put on this race this race. I haven't seen the qualifying of the grid positions of it, except all I know is Zoo Michaels was started on pole and the Italian Red started 7th and Bortz only started 8th, so he's lost a fair few positions from the start. But takes that corner, actually he seems to have lost all his snap oversteer with like the style which is suited Bortz over all the races, like online and offline, just consistent, not taking any risks, pulling good lap times to catch people up. As Italian Red now is 11th, that he must have had a spin while pitted. He's now 1 point. Italian Red is now behind Bortz for getting in the pits. The chicane is next on Bortz's list, so Bortz is slowly climbing up that ladder, climbing up the field, setting best almost every other lap now at 125.9. It's a fairly respectable race pace on the primes. It seems like qualifying pace for the 124.8 or something like that. Italian 2.5 seconds behind Bortz now, and Bortz 10 seconds behind chicane now. Chicane maintaining that 10-second gap to Bortz. Lap 24. Field is +1 lap. 9.8 seconds now. The Bortz slowly getting chicane. 4.863. Oh, had a little error there in that corner. What are you going to mess with it? These next corners as well. No. He's had some burst of pace on either place players. He's most of them 9.6 now behind chicane. 2.2 ahead of Italian. So Italian keeping checks with Mr. Bortz. very consistent driving from Bortz now. Just shaving times off of his personal best. Just tallying his person or identical times to him. Bortz is slowly catching chicane, so Bortz is back to his recognisable style, which is just clean driving, not too many mistakes, not like his shenanigans in the first 20 odd laps where he just qualifying for the Winter Olympics pirouetting championships, if there is one, which would be awesome. Oh, and a massive smoke down there as AP is off of the track. Very rookie error there in that corner, probably a gearbox failure. His Bortz has had it on this track before. Bortz has a personal best, just 1/10 faster than that, going faster and faster on these prime times. Bortz is now 10, almost. I have no idea how far he's behind chicane, but at this rate he will catch him. Lap 26 now. Lap 32 is his stop, so 6 more laps. I'll probably go on 8 more laps, depending on how these shape up. But knowing Bortz, he'll probably get a puncture when he's reached. I did it. He did on Silverstone. Spoiler alert. Go and watch that race. It's a fantastic race. Or even better, just watch the whole series. Especially watch the Montreal, which he actually did win the Olympics pirouetting championships, and Monte Carlo, which is one of my favourite races from any series which I've seen on Formula 1. Well, and Bortz practicing for his qualifying for the pirouetting championships, just learning how to control his spins. Brave 2000 sets the fastest lap in that guy in this race before. 7.6 seconds to chicane now, so he's gaining it on chicane, but he's losing time to the time ready. He's gaining about 4 seconds per lap. He's consistent driving, and there's nothing to talk about. Well, okay, let's talk about Malaysia. Wow, what a race, Perez, he's like the next thing on Vettel. They just need to sign up to Toro Rosso next season or something and just let him have a wet race in Monza and just see how he does all this stuff and see if he is truly the next Vettel and just have Perez and Vettel out, or if he's still contracted with Sauber, it'll probably take Felipe Baby's position next year in Ferrari. Now he has got Twitter, which previously was not allowed by Ferrari, by the Ferrari team not to let any of their drivers use Twitter, but it seems as though Felipe Baby has got Twitter. He tweets out his stuff in Brazilian, so I have no idea what it says there. You have to actually know language Brazilian. So now Mutant Doctor is your head. No, he's not. He's teaching Mutant Doctor in the pits. He was in the pits one. He's now behind Jules there. Don't know how far behind he is there, but going back to the original race between him and an interesting battle, it would seem in Jules and chicane as Bortz makes another little spin. Again, using this Racedepartment lead time to practice for his qualifying session in the Winter Olympics, and God knows where it is. But one people say that, like, do you think actually God knows? I don't know why I'm going down, but I just want to speak a little bullshit now. Now 6 seconds behind chicane and Jules, so that battle is really slowing them down. I didn't see how Italian Red was, how he was doing, but Fuel was not optimal, so, which is alright, but not good. Not good. He was rejoining 12, so he's got another 4 laps. What a good lap match, or almost matching is the best, but now 3.5 seconds behind King, so that is really slowing them down. It just shows how bars between two players can slow them right down. So all Bortz needs now is a safety car, pretty much. And you can pretty much a safety car and 8 cars for him to crash, which is highly unlikely. But the Italian Red, the Belgium, which is strange when he's called Italian Red if he's Belgium, takes him. Bortz probably did not see that coming, and Italian Red is one that ID to Belgium. Same nationality of Steve, also known as Carlos, who is in Nigeria at the moment, trading goods and selling children.
Looks like the DRS isn't working. The guys are looking into a fix.
Bortz will probably get DRS on Italian Red if he stops jumping around. Like L1 crap. I don't see how L1 jumps around, but still. Lean is now slow, so he can get that fuel next up, but he just deploys all the curved tire he's got. He just closes that gap and probably use some of his curves in this straight. Yep, well, I would have different dived down the inside, but now Bortz is 10th, and they're catching up to what I don't know. But Italian Red seems to be taking extravagant lines, and they've kind of just taken them wide and just lagging like them over. 0.54 seconds, or half a second, Italian Red has pulled away already to Andrew Bortz. Not a very stellar race, but I think Andrew was podium, and not the best of commentator as well. Not exactly action filled like Spa 98, which would be insane to come down. So when they were qualified for the first round, they were everyone crashes. Yeah. I do not hear any of that, but there's someone behind him. Now that is someone for laughing. Oh, that is mutant doctor. He must have got hacked, but that is DR Legend on laughing himself.
Okay, you should see DRS back online now. We fixed the problem. Okay, we need you to be lapping in the low 1:26 range, low 26.
DR Legend not letting him pass as he is unlocking himself, but has better pace than that Bortz. So probably would catch Bortz if he keeps going at this pace, and Bortz keeps having this snap over still, which is obvious in some of these corners, especially in these corners. Coming out, new Doctor is in 5 seconds behind Bortz now. And I can't talk to shit because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what I'm saying or what I'm doing, so if this comes true, it's really dodgy and I don't speak for half the time. Just put that down to me being really tired and me stopping halfway through something, and just put that down to being really tired. And me just keeping myself up by watching Bortz just trying to keep tabs with Couch has just unlocked itself and is now pulling away from Bortz, which is a terrible embarrassing. As people seem to be going on the grass and just flying away, and this is Bortz pit stop lap. Go for it. Oh, this is. Oh no. Great, I've got another. I just realised that I've only gone through 40 odd minutes of commentary, or maybe 50, and really just halfway through. Yours is not optimal with standard mix. Just need to see Bortz's tyres, which is probably holding up quite well because he's, well, I'd probably say from what I've seen in the past couple of laps, probably need the pit because he's getting this oversteer again. I would listen to his engineer as he's catching the tail, who also got passed by a DR Racing Live, I think it is. It was unlapping himself, was flying in his HRT livery, and Bortz does that another lap. Didn't quite get the chance to see his tyres, even I'd quite like to put it in lean that it says he just right straight onto Italian red. Which is this has turned into the sexual innuendo commentary as Bortz catches up to Italian Red's backside. Italian gets a bit dirty on his backside. Bortz is pushing harder and harder, trying not to make any mess. It's always funny when you're really tired and it's 3 o'clock in the morning watching Formula 1, which is going on for an hour and a half, and you just felt about sexual innuendos. So the engineer telling Bortz to hit this lap, which I would. Looking at tyres, I'd get at least another 3 or 4 laps out of them pretty easily. But everyone and their mama right in front of Bortz. You know, he probably won't be able to catch him because of his extremely slow pace. Which is not slow by anyone's standards, but for these races it is pretty slow. But for my standards, I'll probably be speed and pole on every single map on Legend or Expert on my Premier. Well, these times would be in pole and everything. With them, I think he'd win by a good like half minute. As he's now 0.6 seconds behind Italian Red, who seems to be catching up with other people. But Bortz is only 2 seconds up for the meeting doctor, who seems to be having a good race. I feel like not good in terms of where he's standing, but keeping pace with all of these somewhat, I would guess. Oh, catching Bortz. Yeah, I don't know any other drivers except Bortz and Italian Red, so I cannot pass judgment on whether they're experienced or inexperienced, or like world's best, or like one really wonders, like Olivia Panis, who won the 2004, I think it was Monaco Grand Prix. And catch a right to chicane, who is now right on the backside of Italian Red, as they may, and as the lad takes over. Bortz, obviously hearing me, which you are hearing, but I'm using my expert's teas in Formula 1, which is second to none, by suggesting that he stays out another 3 or 4 laps. That seems to work out for him, as he nearly puts into the back chicane. The mutant doctor is right behind him as he switches it up to, or switches it down to standard mix. First switches it up to catches him on this corner, which That is my favourite point to overtake on. You should sort of like drive out of it and you just use curves and as it is good then just to ooze past any player unless it's some guy with I don't know, mods on. His Bortz now comes into the pits, but a set of it could probably as he puts on a set of primes.
Go.
Sure. As he rejoins the ninth, which isn't that bad.
The track is clear. Track is clear.
This is all very touchy stuff as chicane's just behind him, who probably just came out the pits as well. So it could make it to the end on these tyres. Judging by the way this race has gone, there probably would be a safety car and all hell just breaks loose as everyone just turns really expensive F1 cars into demolition derby cars. 22 seconds behind Mutant Doctor now. Just a second or two in front of chicane. Probably half a second in front of chicane. He is 22 seconds behind me. That's a pit stop in 3 seconds, I would say. Doctor, as he must have overtook Italian, who may have pitted. I'm not sure. Bortz is slowly getting this race back together after his terrible start. As behind him, look at that pace of them two drivers. Just go dive down as Bortz chooses wisely and lets him pass as he does not want to get any penalties for causing a collision on this game with all these dodgy imposed rules which they have. As he is in front of such a nice dude. right on the back of chicane with the infinity sign on that Red Bull with a Toro Rosso. It's hard to tell on this bluish screen. 125.8 is his best. So far here's an option prime. The option prime which takes that corner quite right. Maybe his tyres aren't quite up to how would you say temperature. Yeah, has the temperature. As he's squeezed out by such a nice dude. Who looks like he's from Bulgaria, and there's a helicopter in the background. If you saw that on that final corner. Fire station is like a studio pressure now. Engine is green, so that's good. Staying right at the back there, chicane almost loses it. Looks like he's getting snap oversteer or getting a little bit impatient on the throttle as some smoke just goes out of nowhere. Conditions look good, the brakes look pretty good. They're in good condition. That awkward moment when you have nothing to talk about. But here, Bortz looking down the inside of chicane, just staying behind him to try and coax him into a mistake. Just putting tons of pressure on him, just hounding him down. His fuel is now optimal. He uses this curve. And he just pole vaults chicane, and he just cuts that corner a bit so he leaves chicane enough room so chicane doesn't pull himself into the wall. Chicane getting right back on the Bortz, and quite a nice battle evolving here. There's a helicopter again. Turn up the rich mix so we can try and maintain a gap. It's like it's cultural mode. When Zumacher, possibly the race leader, person the fastest lap of a 123.366, which is probably an option time, as Bortz is now setting a 125.08. Just pretty far. Well, I'd expect a 124.5 or 124.7 from Prime on this track. So, not really getting, maybe there's something wrong with the car setup as this track doesn't look as though it's performing. Just look at the crowd. Just seeing to sort out his shifts there. He was bouncing off the limiter, which may have caused him to, I don't know. But his best now is a 123.8. I'll take all of that back, which I said just before. He is now catching everyone up. Everyone's setting fastest laps. Such a nice dude set up fastest lap. 7 tenths faster than Bortz in the lap, which kind of shows in the gap, which is evolving, which is 3.2 seconds. So much it goes a 123 dead almost. Still, his fuel isn't rich, which he should turn down soon, as he probably will not catch such a nice dude. Bortz is still ahead of chicane 4863. I've had a wasteland battle alongside Jules there, I think. So far showing some good pace on these primes as maybe everyone else's on options, but sets its fastest lap, or his personal best, for 123.737. His fuel is now -1 lap, which is, well, nothing to worry about at the moment. Just in the last laps, just watch out because you might just start losing fuel in the up at the end. A few corners, everyone just passes you. And I've seen people who have lost race wins and like championships just from just switching all to faster from the rich fuel mix for no reason, just to get that extra tenth out of the car. But Bortz appears to be using head cam or head tracker, as he seems to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff with his camera. Probably the same equipment used on flight simulators with a cap or with a cap or perched or attached, or I don't know, placed on top of it. Whoa, and Bortzy boy, what were you doing? He just, I know it was a lap car as well. He just sit up. Oh no, it wasn't. It just his jewels were. And you see him pulling across. And Bortz just really weird. Just doesn't pull over to the left so it doesn't hit Jules and just carries on straight into him, which is probably Jules' fault for not getting out of the way or just staying where he was. But knowing Bortz in this race, he probably would have smashed him up. Bortz showing a nice, or maybe not. Hugo Preto looks as though he got a bit mad. He's destroying this freaking. Oh, and here we go. This is what Bortz wanted. A safety car as a. I have no idea what the safety car is. It's at the first corner. Too fast auto braking. As Bortz uses his time to just dive into the pits and get a set of options, I would guess. His best is 1:23.737 as he gets a new wind as well. That's all. Just glitched down.
Exit now.
As he puts on the soft tyres, which show a yellow Pirelli sign on the inside of the tyre, whereas the hard tyres show a white Pirelli symbol on the inside of the tyres. So Bortz is going to have a mad dash to catch up now with all the pursuers as they appear to be going onto the curve straight. I guess the Bortz will probably be catching them up soon. Wise move by Bortz to use the safety car as a good time to pit and get it has a new front wing, which is probably all his fault and pretty much. But it was kind of like the Hamilton Kirby actually crashed it. Spot, it was kind of no one's fault. It was kind of like a joint fault, if you could call it that, where both players were at fault for particular reasons, and the decisions they made contributed to each other. So they should, that the decisions contributed to the overall effort of just a crash, which means probably that Preto, after all, but it's Hugo, probably smashed into it. Hugo, whatever his name, and just obliterated him. So in that 34 now, 58, trying to catch up now with the pack, which looks as though it is on. Yeah, it looks as though it is going onto lap 45, going into the last corner of the lap, I think. Bortz trying to catch up, which the safety car is out for an unusual amount of time. It's out for a long time, which is allowing Bortz to try and catch up, but yeah, the safety car is in turn 1 now, going down the first or the second straight of the lap. Bortz is somewhat catching up with chicane. Because that corner around, there was controversy over the yellow flag rule and Hamilton overtaking someone. I completely escapes me who it was, but then the there's another one. ITV1 coverage was awesome. Half the place just adverts just popped up, which is awesome. Always dropped to enjoy watching some of the most spectacular sports in the world. And oh yeah, NatWest or Virgin Money, which is a great bank account for personal reasons. Adverts pop up just randomly. Too slow ghosting in. I have no idea what that means. But he was catching up with this and he's caught out eventually. He's now dead for procedure of paving well, and it looks as AP is in the queue somewhere. The safeguard is in his lap just as Bortz has cut up, so it looks as though Bortz has slipped some money into the safety jar and burn his pocket and Demon Hill's pocket just to just keep it out for one more lap, yeah. So, pretty violent to have there, but looks as though he gets a pretty bad exit to the corner and just loses time to repair engine. I apologise if this microphone makes me sound a little bit higher pitch of voice than actually it is. There's something wrong with my microphone which makes me sound like I'm 10 or 11 for some reason, and it just makes my voice sound really squeaky, which it actually is not, so I apologise for that. Now I'll be getting some kind of enhanced microphone soon, which is, I have no idea what I'll be getting, probably a blue snowball probably, or a headset to replace my old Cockpit X11s if anyone wants them, because they're good. I don't really like them. The Sam Method put in a fast lap of 1:21.7. Bortz is 2 seconds behind him as someone as Bortz over. No, it didn't ever lap someone. I thought that was changing it over that's to the corner. Very strange. It did actually look like to me a HR2. Going very slowly. Here's the race engineer tells Bortz to keep up the pace. And one for qualifying. And 2010 it would have been disqualified for just touching the curb as he flings into the corner. 1.5 seconds behind chicane now. It's a very dramatic race, so it's just not being firm, but still being firm, if that gets wrong, if you get what I'm saying. Trying to catch up with the pack effectively. Condition is fine, he will last 10 laps easily. Taking these sections now, so almost barely by corner, not hitting the apex. Touching both of them curves perfectly. Diving into this corner, touching the apex. Getting a bit wide, getting a bit nervy and trying to catch up with the field. Or he just completely missed his braking zone. Now he's exits that corner there. And it's good to see the mini-map, to see the whole track now, and not just the parlage section which you're on at that time of the race in F122. And the graphics in this game are greatly improved, vastly improved from the old game. There's still a lot of tweaking to be done, like, for instance, like updates throughout the season, updating helmets, other stuff like sail power drivers, liveries, and they should also implement an F1 game. I think it was F1 Championship 2005 made by commentators. Else when ditches it into the house, such a nice dude. Ditches his Mercedes livery car into the property. Must have been some contacts or knockout has Bortz takes it wide again for that corner. Very splitting. Bortz is how miracles. Someplace down where he started. And now I'm actually looking at races, he sets he has set a 1:23.246 seconds. One there, one a bit tense, that doesn't make any sense. The grass takes a bit round, the grass just has to crack up quite a bit. It seems to have dropped, not that anymore, that snap over still. As the Italian red destroys his vehicle. You see, it was angry as over, and now Mama, it seems to be destroying that vehicle as so much it is maintaining the lead. And it is such a nice dude. He's maintaining the gap as Bortz is faster than you. That's it for our safety car deployed. That is fantastic, but it just keeps getting better and better for him. This is going to end up being a very exciting race. And as I foreshadowed, there will be a safe car, and there's been two. But what I'm wondering about is on a multiplayer, you have the problem that if you spin out while you're trying to catch up the safety car, say if Bortz ditched it now, if such nice dude, it was talking while he was in the gravel, would such nice dude get a penalty? I might test that theory maybe some other time, but it's really technical, hoping and ice it's dry as fuck. And I've got no water. As Bortz puts it straight into the pits for some reason. I don't know why. Well, he has got plenty of sets of option tyres. Left, has he? Oh, that has not gone up. That has not gone well for Bortz. No, he has not lost any positions. Just very, very slow pit stop. Which may not have affected this race, I was just completely scratched out. It's going to join all the queues quite far away from him. It'll probably be in this lap for the next. As he attempts to catch up to the pack. With the pack back followed by the yellow dots. Imagine the British state. So 2 safety cars in this race, about 4 or 5 crashes, 2 safety cars, and Bortz somehow currently meeting his objective after going like a really beyond crack or a rumble or a massive spliff, driving his F1 car with his feet. And here's the back of the pack. He'll probably not blow it because another lap behind the safety car. Judging by his previous start, Bortz will probably go really slowly and lose a lot of time on the pack. And if all was the plan, Bortz would just somehow get up that and get into the top spot, unless someone is like already lapped the Bortz, which is likely, as Bortz has had a pretty crap race. Bortz trying to maintain his heat in the tyres. His brakes have gone cold, so, and he's sticking it in neutral to preserve fuel, which is very handy. Just gliding through corners and just jolting through the gears, which it may not be that good. Because if he keeps short shifting, up and down, up and down, up and down, that will just destroy his gearbox and hamper all of his performance. Just in quick upshifts and downshifts will not help him. Maybe just have that and just smack it into one and smack it into two. Like that. And do it like that way. Like that. And short shift down at 2, 1, neutral, and just do that. And I just smash what I won't can't do that anymore. Because then I get a flat spot in the life. Well, even if it isn't real life physics, it's just making people get to ever see in the following goal. It's like 52 or 58. Heat in the tyres but not in the brakes. Switching it all to Bortzy boy. What have you done to that restart? Just F1's not a case of the tortoise in the air.
We think the car behind is running on 4 revs. He's trying to close the gap.
The car behind it, the engineer says it's running on 4 revs. And Bortz just closes in and should get on almost smashing the back hinges. Awesome driving from all the bands and on the Racedepartment lead PCV packages and 100% races which is enjoying fun but not enjoying it. But my fault and it's not enjoying it, so Bortz, he was never going to try that. For the race, he's having. He's just probably going to take chicane Aurora and probably everyone's going to pass him. George was even DR legend was a full lap over behind him, just glides past him. Or even if he was just a lap himself. But he's still in ninth. So here he dropped 1 place there. Probably just players that unwrap themselves. So it looks like a guaranteed 9th place because OP is a full lap behind Bortz. Oh. Maybe two seconds after a lap, but still. And like it was saying, unless Bortz gets a puncture, then it should be fine. Which puts properly well.
Exactly what we need. Push.
Yeah, there you know. Choosing the right decision to let Bortz pass as his brakes have had plenty of collisions in this race. Because it gets it's kind of hard to see how this like he's doing, either it's not oversteer or he's just getting on the throttle too early. Really, like with the dodgy audio as well, it's kind of hard to say if he's trying to put the throttle to the floor. I saw him coming along. Playing total war show onto him. Leaves within 15. It's nothing. So suction has 2 sets of thrusters up for 120.8. Bortz is stuck for 122.7, which is very fast. For my standards, but pretty slow for everyone else's standards. So chicane. This Bortz next target I'd say. The race he's had, it'd take it 8th place. That's where he started, that's where he probably will finish. But we need doctors and sections around him. As usually, I'll from Joe. These shorts. I'll tell you what, I might even be tempted to actually join this league. Even about 10 seconds off the bottom of his race pace. It would go down an Englishman, a Welshman, and a Serbian in the Panther. And all you do is a Scotsman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman, just for jokes. But I would probably not be allowed into Racedepartment as pretty much, if you look me up in the dictionary, I'll just say truly in disguise. Pretty much. Map 56 or 58. Closing in on chicane 4863. Going back to mutant doctor. 8.6 seconds. With a lap car right on his ass. So 10th place is probably just behind me, Doctor. I'll just tease you away next time I'm trying to catch it to a chicane. That's what Bortz is going to race it. If he sees a car there, he'll just overbrake himself and he'll just mess things up and just get further and further behind everyone. Just that 8th place is pretty good for the race. Really good. Well, seize the opportunity and just again the person because it's not this. How about this? Bortz was too careful on that guy. Just that master, like, tries to be consistent and not take too many risks. If not, he plays with taking on the next other players who are good on the inside but who are not taking. He'll probably take it right at the end of this lap. If he puts some clothes down there, out of there. Put some clothes and just drop them down now. Over there. There comes the pass. It's made his one race defensive move. Bortz been broken way late, really early, and just letting chicane. So just get away from him. But that's why Bortz is faster than me. Open his BRX there. Just to get past chicane, notice goes for that and to fire that. It's a really intense final lap. Bortz is now 7th out of 58, even though there's probably only about 10 or 11 drivers. Chicane is right and behind her, and Lindblom, who I'd say has had a fantastic race. 13 or 14 years old. It's 6.6 seconds in front of Lindblom compared to the age of more experienced members of society. playing on the PC. Grove 2000 said the fastest lap earlier in the race, but I was put on 6, the Bortz was 7, which was quite cool for the race he's had. Kind of corners. I really don't like them the cars doing the honest time. It just caught me off with like the two just not like just there. Oh, I know. Bortz. Oh, what? But Bortz chicane. Is this a chicane beat Bortz by almost a tenth of a second? But Bortz still at 7th. That's strange. That is really strange. But Mike MVP of Bortz. So is every Bortz. But then other drivers then is Bortz is 7th with 6 points. As Bortz takes an F1 2011 screenshot and Tommy was disqualified, and that is the end of the race. Thank you guys for watching this. Hope you enjoyed this. If you do, leave me a comment or whatever, and I'll see you for the next race.